So I just had a conversation with one of my team members. From our perspective, we look at copywriting as being two distinct disciplines. One aspect of copywriting is purely strategic. The other aspect of copywriting is the artistic expression, the persuasive aspect, the communication aspect of copywriting. And I think that there's a lot of content out there, there's a lot of emphasis out there on the persuasiveness and the communication style of copywriting, and these are really important, but I want to make sure that we are also paying equal attention to the strategic aspect of copywriting. So what do I mean by the strategic aspect of copywriting? So the idea here is you are constructing an argument for the sales pitch for that product, and the way you do that is by objectively evaluating the attributes and the unique attributes of that product. So you go through the product description, you see that the client has listed 7 key features that were the best in the world at these 7 things. You now, through the interrogation process, you go back to the client and you say, you've listed 7 things. Are you saying that you're the only company in the world that has these 7 features? And then you, based on their responses, you ask follow-up questions, and you're asking things like, if I had to only choose 4 features, which 4 should I choose? Right? So you're forcing the client to kind of really contract their list. And through this process, and for example, another question you could say is that, okay, if I had to, like, what makes this attribute different and more important than this other attribute? And what you're doing by this process is you're actually trying to distill out what is truly unique about the product. What happens over time is that we start, like, in marketing, we just keep on layering stuff more and more, right, on the page. So a product truly had one feature that was the best in the world, but then we said, well, there are these other use cases, there are these other types of customers, there are these other types of searchers. Let's kind of talk about these other attributes as well, because they might think it's important. And so over time, we just start stuffing stuff, and then you've got this mountain of claims. And the consumer who's buying it is really buying it for a singular feature, and now they're confronted with all of these things. And so part of what we need to do as marketers is we need to kind of like identify what's truly unique. So that's one part of the strategic copywriting. The other thing what you're doing is you're constructing the argument. You're basically creating the skeletal structure of that argument. It's very much like how a lawyer would work. And I really love the lawyer analogy. You have a case. The truth is what's in the case, and that's that's a separate matter. But how that case is constructed, how we present it to the jury, what we talk about first, what we talk about second, how we relate 1 and 2, how we then have supporting evidence for 2, how we then lead to point number 3, all of these things have a huge implication on the outcome of that case and how that case is perceived by the jury. And constructing that is the job of that's the strategic aspect of copywriting. So I want to just draw a distinction between these two things, and I think that there's an incredible amount of value on the strategic side of the equation that I don't think we spend enough time thinking about. Thanks.